You get past the long introduction of Proverbs, and most of the next 3 chapters are focused on this one thing: sexual purity, sexual sin. Why is that? Because sexual sin takes away a person's energy, takes away their vigor, their vitality, and they end up giving the best of themselves in their best years to people that don't care about them, people that care nothing for them, instead of giving their love, their energy, their money, their time to a family that they're loyal to and that loves them and that they love. If you do this, if you go off the tracks into sexual sin, your years, your vitality will be wasted in grief and frustration, shame, dissatisfaction. Sexual sin destroys marriages, destroys children, destroys households. It ruins reputations, honor, our future, our wealth. Proverbs 6:32-33, remember this? Whoever commits adultery with a woman lacks understanding. He who does so destroys his own soul. Wounds and dishonor he will get, and his reproach will not be wiped away. There's so much, not just in Proverbs, but the whole Bible, about sexual immorality and sin, because it's not just pervasive in our society. It's been pervasive in every society that's ever existed. I've always found it amazing. After Cain kills his brother Abel in Genesis chapter 5, one of the most twisted, perverted things that ever came up in history happened. Polygamy. Guy had 2 wives, and he's bragging about killing people. Sexual sin has been everywhere from the very beginning. It's not just a problem in our society. It's always been a problem. Many a ministry has been ruined by it. Just in my own short lifetime. So many people whose books I've read, whose conference talks I've listened to and benefited from, whose sermons have ministered to my soul, have literally disappeared from the face of the earth, apparently, after sexual scandal of some kind. Before we dig into Proverbs 7, I'd like to make a very brief point quickly here. Purity culture. I was raised in the Evangelical Free Church, which I've always described as broad evangelical fundamentalism. I'm very grateful for it. And that church has towed the line. It's still fundamental, still preaches the true gospel. I grew up in the late 1980s and early 1990s were my teenage years. I was born in 1975. So that's when I was a teenager. And the youth of our church went to numerous conferences on sexual purity. They'd load us up in vans and take us to these conferences, and we'd hear these speakers. We had numerous people brought into the church numerous times, talk to us about the importance of sexual purity. I, along with many other kids my age, I remember, plain as day, when I was 13 years old, I signed a document and swore an oath in front of the congregation that I would save myself for marriage. Now, many people who were raised in that environment, known as purity culture, have since turned on their faith and have tried to say that that sort of thing is abusive and that it's stifling and that it's this terrible thing, something that they've needed to pay a therapist hundreds of dollars an hour to help them get over. But I want to tell you something. I have and will continue to praise God for all those people, all those precious Christian adults who encouraged us to be sexually pure. I thank God for every one of those speakers, all those leaders, and all those conferences, all those books, all those talks. I thank God for every one of them because they cared enough about us to say something. It actually made me think. And I remember thinking, even when I was 13, 14, you know what? They're probably right. And that's not easy to do with a teenage boy.